How's everyone going? Welcome to this review video. Once again, you see what we're doing today. We are going to take a look at Kato's 100 series. Apologies about the rather dark lighting. We'll kind of keep this to natural lighting today. So let's go take a look and see how this model has fared over the years. Welcome everyone to this review. Today we're taking a look at Kato's 100 series, released in 2022. It forms the Grand Hikari train set. Time to start off with the pack orientation. The full 16 carriage set is broken into 3 packs. Your first pack is 10354. This is your standard set. Features 6 carriages, inclusive of 2 green cars. The first add-on set, pack number 10355, has an extra 6 carriages. These complete the double-decker section of the train, completing the train to 12 carriages. And the final 4 carriages is part of our final add-on set. Pack number 10, 12, 13 completes our 16 carriage rake. Alright, once again we're going to have a look at what we call the good and the shortcomings of the model. We'll be doing the good side and the look of the model, the detailed look of the model, in slightly differently this time. We've got the 2 end units currently on screen, so we'll have a look at the end cars, then we'll have a look at the regular cars, and then we'll have a look at the green cars. So on to the regular cars. We can see it's got the very fine bullet nose. It comes in a sort of pristine look, sort of paint, or what's called color work, but the artwork is very, very fine. You can see the clear lining. We can see the numbers already fitted to the model. The model comes with directional headlights, as you can see on the side of the nose, green white towards you and red away. This model utilizes the 2nd generation style couplings. I call them 2nd generation. Whether or not they are is not 100% sure, because obviously the original style that we saw in the Series 0 was the Arnold's and this one uses the gangway style couplings. Is a secure connection. They are very strong, and they also work pretty well. They do have a minor shortcomings, which we will outline later on. Detail on the model is good. The tooling of the model is old, however. It's definitely not the newest of models. It is still newer than that of the Series 0. But we can see there's still a lot of detail and still very clean of detail. Lining all good. Each carriage has their own interior. And the molding for the shells are very, very clean. A lot of detail to be seen. The rear unit we can see over there as well, that being car number 16, has a pantograph mount, but without a pantograph being fitted. There are 2 carriages on this set that have that feature. Alright, so these are your green car units. I call them green car, but they're not exactly all green car. 3 of the 4 cars are marked as green cars, with the second unit we can see in the screen being a standard unit for whatever reason. These are the double-decker units that are used on the Grand Hikari service. When the Series Zeros were taken out of Grand Hikari operation, they would lose the 4 carriages. So let's take a quick look around these carriages and see how they're like. As well, once again, these are part of the same range as the Grand Hikari. They are marked as the older numbered units, so it's a rerun unit. Tooling does look good though, it looks very, very clean. We do have a missing component on these units. A little electrical insulator is supposed to be fitted onto the top end, where we can see the little divot on the top deck. Those have not been fitted on these models, as these models have been kept in as arrived condition for this video. Printing once again is very, very clean. We can see as usual, and including the fact that I've got a green car sticker now on the side of the unit. These units are double deckers, as I have already said, with, I think it was green, what's it called? The top deck was green car, if I recall. And once again, we've got the standard Tokaido, Sanyo, Shinkansen lining, blue line straight through the carriages. These units are bidirectional. You can couple them up in whichever way you feel to do so. Obviously, there is a correct way to couple them up, but these couplers do not stop you from coupling it up in reverse. Details of the model, as usual, are good. Most of the detail is molded, up to the doors, air conditioning units, and so forth. And then a lot of the other sort of things are done based on paintwork. So, still a very, very nice looking model, despite everything. Holds the same sort of quality in design to the lead units. And our last 2 carriages we'll take a look at is the motor carriage and one of the pantograph carriages. Our motor carriage is car number 11. Approximately is the centre of the train. Obviously those 16 carriages on the full rake, which means it's offset towards the rear of the train. But that's our motor unit. It is the unit directly behind the double-decker carriages. Once again, continues on with the theme of the rest of the units. Has the same style couplings. Detail is, as usual, the same and looks good. Nothing unique to these carriages really, other than the fact they are single-deck cars. And also the fact that this carriage has a pantograph fitted, this being car number 14. Pantographs are set up approximately every 2 carriages, or supposed to be approximately every 2 carriages at some point in their life. But will eventually change to being every 4 carriages, if I recall. You can see the interior seating once again. Depending on which carriage, some of them do have different coloured interiors. This does denote different, from what I can understand, denotes the different different carriage types as well. We can see there is undercarriage detail on these units. They are all pre-molded stuff, and they're based off the chassis. bogies are also looking really, really good. Every unit has pickups to allow you to put on extra internal lighting if you see fit. The train does not have through powering, however, so each carriage will power their own set of lights. Coming on to the motor unit, once again, same sort of detailing on the outside. However, we can see a couple of differences. For example, the lack of interior where it's all been flattened out. This is to allow the motor to sit inside it, but sits just below the window line. And just of interest, these are the lighting kits that are recommended for the Series 100s, these being the LED interior lighting kit. This is the 6-pack version, so pack number 11 to 12, also available in single packs 11 to 11. This gives a cool lighting as seen on a lot of modern trains. Right, time for our shortcomings now that we've had a look at the different type of carriages available in this set. Shortcoming wise, there really is very minimal shortcomings on these models. They are pretty good for their age, definitely not showing their age that well, which is nice to see. So definitely not too bad at all. Gangways are decent, as I have said. However, they do have their own minor issues, as they are heavily friction-based units. If the couplings are slightly not held on, if the shell isn't slightly held on properly, the couplings do operate a little tighter. This has been in past caused derailments, and in some cases I've seen people manage to pull the couplings out as well. Of course, this shouldn't happen, but that is always something to bear in mind. Having only a single motor on these units, at 16 carriages long, it does get pretty heavy for the motor. Despite having a traction tyre on the power unit, it does struggle on up some grades. It is better for flat surface layout with very minimal grades. Kato does not give you the option to fit a second motor carriage, although you could probably modify a carriage to do so. That would probably solve most of the traction issues when trying to take on inclines. Other than that, really have not had any other problems with the model. It's been a pretty flawless model since acquisition, and to this day still operates fantastically, as we've seen in portions of this video already. Alright, let's do a quick demonstration how you open up the shell for this model. Like basically all of Kato's Shinkansen units, there are multiple clips that hold the side of the shell. These just pop out. So pretty much the same design as the last two that we've taken a look at in our review videos, which pops out the shell. We have the interior covering. This covering has we have the interior covering, as we can see here. These are your two gangways, which are isolated from the frame. To remove the motor housing, or at least the cover that holds the motor, you need to quickly clip off these clips which are underneath, which will allow you to remove the shell. It is easy to remove it once you've taken the, pretty simply you push inwards, sort of like when you're pulling a peg. It will allow the clips to engage inwards, and then the whole panel just removes. This gives you access to the motor, or at least the outer frame of the motor, to the drive shafts. The motor is accessible from the other end, which you have to remove the other components. This is all toolless. but this allows you to access the drive shafts and the gear mechanism if you were so to need to maintain those. I'm going to give the model a bit of a voltage test, so here we go. We're using the Kato SX standard controller for this testing. We'll calmly speed up the model until it hits an operational speed. Due to the length of the train, we are operating only the power unit for most of these testing. You can see, however, the light switching on the front unit. Now we're going to test the crawl on our power unit. Of course, this may differ based on conditions, track, how dirty the track may be, different controllers and all that sort of stuff. And obviously with the load will be a little bit different as well. But this is crawl and starting voltage for the power unit. Apologies, we don't usually do the availability part like this, but the layout has since been deconstructed during the filming process of this video, and I did forget to do this part. But anyways, let's have a chat about the availability for the Series 100. The availability is a bit of, like the others, a bit on off-ball, because of course these videos are filmed way in the future compared to the unboxings. However, this particular model, being an older number, product number 354, does mean that there are multiple reruns of this model. A lot of them use the same sort of specifications, obviously because the product number didn't change. So there are a lot in the second-hand market, at least for this particular model, at least for the standard set. However, on the new market, a lot of them do look like they're slowly starting to dwindle in availability. There was still a couple available in the past 12 months, but a lot of those have since gone out of stock, especially down here, down under. But the second-hand market is probably the better way to go if you're looking for one of these, as they are very lacking in limitability, as there have been so many runs of them. Alright, well that finishes our look at Kato's 100 series, which was recently reran in 2022. We took a look at the 3 packs that make up the full 16 car rake, beginning with the standard pack of 6 carriages that we saw in our unboxing video. Operationally, doesn't work too badly. It's definitely having a few minor issues, as you may have noticed throughout the video, of it kind of slowing down. That's not 100% the model's fault, that's probably more the track condition itself. But what can we say? Not too bad of a model at all. It's definitely using the older numbering, so I'm not 100% sure how new the model's specifications are, but it is still using its older numbers, but it doesn't look too bad, especially for its age. Thanks everyone for joining us for this review on Kato's 100 series. She'll be back next time with the next model. Not 100% sure what that is yet, but you probably have a bit of a guess of what that should be.